Welcome to the Audits and Institutions unit, and our case study follows Time Warner Corporation's release of The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. In terms of institutions, we will look at the ownership of media conglomerates and how they attract UK and worldwide audiences to their products. The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug was made and released by New Line Cinema, which in itself is a subsidiary of Warner Brothers, which in turn is a subsidiary of Time Warner. Section 1 Institutions. In this section we will investigate the role of conglomerates such as Time Warner Incorporated and wider media institutions in creating a range of media products for the UK and world markets. 1. Institutions. Time Warner, and in particular its subsidiary Warner Brothers. How it makes its films such as The Hobbit. We're looking at production. Section 1A. Section 1B, we will look at how The Hobbit is distributed and marketed. The second section will focus upon exhibition, how the media artifact has been created, how it is exhibited to the masses. And the third and final section is fandom, how audiences interpret films and how they make their own artifacts as a consequence of those films. So what is a conglomerate? A conglomerate is a combination of two or more corporations engaged in entirely different businesses together into one corporate structure, usually involving several or many subsidiaries. Often a conglomerate is a multi-industry company. Conglomerates are often large and multinational across a range of countries. Time Warner is the third biggest media conglomerate in the world. Which company is number 1 and 2? Access the following website and write down the top 3 media conglomerates and what sets them apart. Conglomerates such as Tata make a variety of products, the most popular being the Jaguar Land Rover brand. They also make steel in a number of steel factories across the world, and they also make a range of food products including Tetley tea bags. Conglomerates can stretch across a range of different businesses. The world's 10 largest conglomerates. Number 10 is Bertelsmann SE and Co. Number 9 is the Gannett Company Incorporated. Number 8 is the CBS Corporation. Number 7 is British Sky Broadcasting Group PLC. Number 6 is Liberty Media. Number 5 is News Corporation. Number 4 is Viacom. Number 3 is Time Warner Incorporated. Number 2, the Walt Disney Company. And number 1 is Comcast Corporation. Time Warner is the same, except it makes almost entirely media products across many media platforms, including film, TV, print in the form of magazines and books, and online platforms. Time Warner owns such popular brands as HBO, DC Comics, CNN, AOL, Cartoon Network, Flickster, Warner Brothers Film Studios. Question 1A. Time Warner own a great range of cross-media institutions. They own various institutions that cover a whole range of mediums from film, TV, cable, internet, publishing and telecommunications. Question number 1. What interesting facts have you discovered about Time Warner on its website? Question number 2. Who runs the Time Warner organisation? Question number 3. How much does the organisation earn per year? Think in terms of gross income and net profit. Question number 4. What do you think are the most significant media companies which come under the ownership of Time Warner and why? Question number 5. Find out what other Warner Brothers Studios tentpole films are due to be released in 2014 and beyond. Section 1A Production. In this section, you will investigate how and why such films are made. What are the mechanics behind getting a major event movie like The Hobbit to the screen?
The eye of the mountain below. Keep careful watch of my brother's souls.
Production 1A questions. How was The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug made? Question number 1. How much did it cost? Question number 2. Where was it filmed? Question number 3. What actors are in it and why? Question number 4. What is the appeal of the film? The storyline, the action sequences, the explosions, the good characters, the big budget, the special effects? Question number 5. Why do British audiences like these type of big budget event movies? Question number 6. How well did the original film The Hobbit do?
The flames climb high into the night, calling out, Father, oh.
The latest data can be accessed from www.thenumbers.com. On this website we'll give you the pre-release details and information on budgets and profitability since its release in December 2013.
We should all die together, raise a glass of wine.
Okay, great. We're really good, guys.
Hi, I'm Angus. Welcome to the world of
3D.
3D and I've got reading glasses. It's all good.
Shooting The Hobbit in 3D is a dream come true. I mean, if I had the ability to shoot Lord of the Rings in 3D, I certainly would have done it.
Oh, yes.
But now, the reality is that it's not that difficult to shoot in 3D. I love it when a film draws you in and you become part of the experience. Of course, to shoot 3D, you actually need 2 cameras.
The problem that we have in the cinema world is that the lenses that we use are so large that we cannot get an interocular similar to a human's, which is the separation between your eyes. For us to get the 2 cameras as close together as possible, they have to shoot into a mirror.
one shoots through a mirror, the other one bounces off a mirror, and so the 2 images are perfectly overlaid. One's left eye, one's the right eye. With using 2 eyes, we can move the cameras apart, and also, more importantly, is find a convergence point. For example, see around someone's face, just like you're looking at a friend.
The convergence point is the screen plane itself. 3D forms 2 places, positive space, which is inside the box, what you see behind the person who's standing on the screen, and negative space, which is what you feel comes out into the audience, an arm, a bullet, or whatever you want.
People who have seen scenes of The Hobbit say that it's like the back of the cinema has had a hole cut out of it where the screen is, and you're actually looking into the real world.
We'll shoot from here.
It's Peter Jackson's intention that instead of the picture coming out at you, it's actually leading you in to the depth of the film.
It was very important for The Hobbit that we feel like the same filmmakers have gone back into Middle-earth to tell a new story.
This forest feels sick.
Once you add stereo and it gives you that extra depth, it can become part of the storytelling of the film. For instance, in Mirkwood, we really play on the fact that it's a forest that's hallucinogenic almost. It draws you in and you may never get out. And so we were able to use our 3D in creative ways to make you go inside someone's head and increase the feeling of paranoia.
This way.
Mirkwood is a big forest and it's full of vines and sinister looking trees, and it helps us with the 3D to be able to push into that and try and get the audience to feel that look over your shoulder feeling.
To actually go back inside Middle-earth, literally because of the 3D, it's as close to Middle-earth as you could possibly get in an event.
Quiet! We're being watched.
3D does drag you into feeling like you're a part of it, and it makes it just that little bit more exciting, especially in the dangerous bits where you feel like you're along for the ride.
And 3, 2, 1, go!
As a director, I always want to have the audience feel like they're going into the movie. And 3D is a dream, an absolute dream, because it's the way that I can invite audiences out of their seat and step into the world, step into Middle-earth, come on this adventure with us.
the advancement of technology in the time between Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit that will make this incredibly rich to watch.
And that's where Peter's so brilliant. The technology is a means to an end, and the end is to take you into a world.
Dragon fire and ruin. That is what you will bring upon us. He cannot see beyond his own desire.
This is going to be an even bigger film.
Come now. Don't be shy. Step into the light.
Section 1B, Distribution and Marketing. How are event movies marketed to the masses? You'll understand the importance of using traditional marketing methods and more recent viral digital marketing methods as well. Traditional marketing. Glitzy tentpole movie premieres. Odeon London. Images of celebrities showcased in IPC's women's magazines such as Chat, Look and Now, giving it a wider demographic appeal. So the studio will book some of the biggest cinemas in the world in some of the biggest cities. London, Paris, Rome. Call a number of A to Z list celebrities along to these events. It's very glitzy, it's very glamorous, and it becomes quite newsworthy. There are paparazzi there who take great interest in filming the actors and actresses as they walk the red carpet. The outfits are filmed and photographed and become the centerpiece of many daily national tabloidy magazines such as Hello and Closer, Chat, Look and Now. What it does is it allows these other media products that belong to Time Warner in the form of IPC magazines, it allows it to appeal to a wider demographic. The Hobbit may be essentially targeting young males between the age of 12 and 40, or older males indeed. But because the costumes and images of dresses and fashion appear in women's magazines, it taps into their interests as well. And the wider demographic, middle-aged women for example, become aware of the franchise, become aware of the film's release, and they may accompany their children or partners to watch such films, even though they may not be the primary demographic for films such
amazing,
as The Hobbit.
You know, it's such an event, these movies. It's been 10 years since I've been at a premiere for these. Well, Lord of the Rings was at least 10 years ago, and so it feels great.
I keep on saying this, I did the motion capture as well, so a little bit of what you see of the dragon, of the animation, the incredible job that the boys at Weta did is also me.
We're really proud of this movie. Enter the Dragon. What else can I say? It's so exciting.
I have hideous liver spots. I mean, my character is most disgusting. I'm not an oil painting to begin with, but once the Rick Findlater, the genius makeup artist who looked after me, had finished with me with a ball cap and a comb over and scurf in my beard and liver spots, it's revolting.
We were floating down the Pelorus River with this incredible current, and then in what was like a washing machine powered by V8 engines, which can only be described as a fairground ride. So many different elements that made up the barrel sequence. So really exciting to see that.
Well, I feel incredible, you know, very humble and a lot of gratitude for all these wonderful fans that have given us such a great welcome. Fantastic welcome. Thank you very much, everybody. Everyone that's been here for so long, thank you.
Whenever Peter chooses people, I heard earlier somebody said he doesn't just choose them for their ability, but for who they are. And so we end up working with such great people that you just want to see them. You want any excuse to see them again and again and again.
To be part of this adventure in any way, shape or form is a real pleasure. And to work with Pete and to work with such an amazing cast, it was utterly brilliant.
love Berlin. Well, thank you for caring enough to actually park up in the cold and the wet and come and see us load of people who... We wouldn't have this without the fans, and we wouldn't be here without people who really wanted to see the film. So we're very grateful, and we humbly thank you for...
Other traditional marketing strategies are PR junkies and chat shows. This is where a Hollywood star stars the film, will sit in a hotel room with a backdrop of the film, and one by one, different journalists, TV presenters come in and ask a set questions to the actors and actresses. Often someone like Martin Freeman will sit in a room for hours on end, and he might do 20, 30 interviews at a time. These are called PR junkets. They also allow an opportunity for stars to be booked into major shows such as Jonathan Ross or Graham Norton in and around the release date of the film, so they can chat about the film itself and help promote it. These are traditional marketing strategies. Alongside that, what happens after the premiere and other traditional marketing events is they are commented upon in newspapers, and newspapers will also carry reviews of the film. They're also known for international audiences, international news conferences where a translator is present and an audience will ask questions to the cast and crew and the director, and they will help answer the questions and promote the film. A similar thing that happens at Comic-Con conventions.
Very easy to do. I saw a clip. I was in tears laughing on Huffington Post. It's a 1-minute montage of you shooting the bird at least 29 to 30 times.
Yes, I haven't counted it, but yeah. Yeah, I did that. I mean, again, not that I didn't think when I was doing that I was being particularly funny. It was just between me and Michael Peller and the cameraman. It would just be our little joke. I didn't know it was going to be out here like this, but yes, it does end up looking quite charming, doesn't it?
It is very charming.
It's a sweet way of, telling people to...
I know, but I'm watching it and you're getting the ears, you're getting the makeup, you're on green screen. Are there times when you're just standing there acting with the walls? I mean, how are you keeping yourself entertained?
Lots of times you're acting with walls, with green walls and tennis balls, lots of it,
I know, but whenever you move on and, they wrap this up, what is it going to be like to suddenly get to be interacting maybe in scenes? And
well, then it's great when you get to work with human beings again, because that's the joy of being an actor, is working with other people. Tennis balls they're genuinely fine, but you wouldn't want to do it all the time, So then when you get a scene where there's like 10 of you, it's bliss. It's really bliss because you can just fuck around and
So maybe you think you could do like a romantic comedy, because I keep seeing Bilbo bring all this comedic elements. He has these one-liners, and you just break the ice with those moments.
By all means, Bilbo in a romantic comedy, that'd be fine. I don't know who the woman would be or the man. Whoever he falls in love with. I don't know who it would be, but he's not a very sexual character.
I think you could make it, but my question is, what is it like with the fans? Because I had never watched Lord of the Rings, I'd never seen the first Hobbit. This is all very new. I'm a very romantic comedy freak.
Okay.
But people freaked out when I tweeted I was interviewing you. I had so many retweets, so many questions.
Oh, really? Okay.
What is that like when you're in your day-to-day life walking around? Are people having these moments of, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings?
Yes, they are.
Does it freak you out a little bit? Because you seem very down-to-earth, low-key.
Well, I'm kind of used to it now, because in Britain anyway, that's been going on for a long time for me. So I'm used to it.
You're kind of like royalty, I would think, for these fan bases.
Above royalty, yeah. Well, I guess, but I tell you what, the Hobbit fan base is very restrained, actually. They're very kind of. I mean, maybe not on the internet, but to you yourself, they're quite polite and respectful and. The Sherlock fan base is a bit more front foot and a bit more rabid, but the Hobbit one they're very cool,
Thief, where are you? Come now, don't be shy. Step into the light.
Traditional convergence and marketing. Convergence is how one film or film images, clips and iconography from the film can be converged into many inanimate objects such as mugs, t-shirts, posters, keyrings images, stills from the film can be used on a multitude of artifacts. With The Hobbit, products such as board games, games consoles, t-shirts, Hobbit slippers, rings, Lego, mugs, children's toy characters and more expensive cast models of popular characters can be created and purchased by fans. Well, merchandise has been in effect since the 1950s and was really exploited in the 70s with films such as Star Wars. Film merchandising itself is $1 million industry, as audiences relate to certain films and characters and like to indulge in their iconography. The Batman franchise is a good example of this, as Warner Bros. Has been making money for 40 years from the franchise in the same way they have from Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes. This also feeds into the idea of the long tail. Other forms of traditional marketing are advertising, cinema adverts, trailers, TV spots, which are adverts which are smaller that appear in a variety of ways on TV, radio adverts on commercial radio, magazine adverts, obvious synergy with IPC media products such as Uncut, Nuts, Enemy magazine, which are owned by IPC Media, which in turn is a subsidiary of Time Incorporated, which is part of Time Warner. Half the magazines you will see in W.H. Smith's are effectively owned by Time Warner. Synergy, an example of that would be the reviews of The Hobbit that appear in Uncut, Nuts and Enemy. What ratings would they give such a film which is ultimately owned by the parent companies?
The tales and
there have been
songs.
quite a number of trailers, but normally three main ones. The first trailer of a film acts as a teaser.
Oh, Smaug, the stupendous.
We are the dwarves of Erebor. We have come to reclaim our homeland.
I offer you my help.
How do we know he won't betray us? We don't.
There is no king under the mountain, nor will there ever be.
It will not end here. With every victory, this evil will grow.
Legolas has grown very fond of you. Do not give him hope where there is none.
You have no right to enter that mountain. I have the only right.
We've been blind. In our blindness, our enemy has returned.
I found something in the Goblin Tunnels.
What did you find?
My courage.
Good. You'll need it.
Dragonfire and ruin. That is what you will bring upon us. He cannot see beyond his own desire.
I will not risk this quest for the life of one burglar.
His name was Bilbo.
Thief. Where are you? Come now. Don't be shy. Step into the light.
The second
You
trailer
seek
also
that
acts
which
as
would
a teaser.
bestow upon you the right to rule. The quest to reclaim a homeland and slay a dragon.
Do not think I won't kill you, dwarf.
When did we allow evil to become stronger than us?
It is not our fight.
It is our fight.
commercial times in Air New Zealand and Denny's.
It's undoubtedly a trap.
Such is the nature of evil. In time, all foul things come forth.
If you awaken that beast, you will destroy us all.
Was that an earthquake? That, my lad, was a dragon.
And the third one is normally the main trailer, and from that TV spots can be formed.
Fall utterly short of your enormity, O Smaug, the stupendous.
We are the dwarves of Erebor. We have come to reclaim our homeland.
I offer you my help.
How do we know he won't betray us?
We don't. There is no king under the mountain, nor will there ever be.
It will not end here. With every victory, this evil will grow.
Legolas has grown very fond of you. Do not give him hope where there is none.
You have no right to enter that mountain.
I have the only right.
We've been blind. In our blindness, our enemy has returned.
I found something in the Goblin tunnels.
What did you find?
My courage.
Good. You'll need it.
Dragon fire and ruin. That is what you will bring upon us. He cannot see beyond his own desire.
I will not risk this quest for the life of one burglar.
His name is Bilbo.
Thief. Where are you? Come now. Don't be shy. Step into the light.
There'll be commercial times with Air New Zealand and Denny's.
Kavohi, my name.
What?
You speak Elvish?
Middle-earth is back at Denny's. Try one of our Hobbit-inspired menu items, like the new Smaug's Fire Burger. See The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. Middle-earth is back at Denny's with the Build-Your-Own Hobbit Slam. 20 delicious options, like sweet potato pecan pancakes, hearty breakfast sausage, and honey cake French toast. A meal to satisfy the hungriest of hobbits. See The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. The Denny's Hobbit Whole Breakfast, one of 5 dishes inspired by The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. Hobbit or dwarf, it's a great meal for any Middle-earth appetite.
We we're about to experience a unique merging of the fantasy of Middle-earth and the reality that is a slice of heaven, New Zealand.
Tonight is the opening of a Tourism New Zealand event called the Book of New Zealand.
They've recreated the film sets here, which is super cool.
You see these fantastical landscapes and they look like they're really too good to be true, but you know, when we were down on location filming The Hobbit, there were places that I had never seen before, and I've lived in New Zealand all my life, and they still really took my breath away.
It's just a magical place. It has a very sort of natural, raw, beautiful feel about it. It's unspoilt.
There's such a great variety of stuff to see in New Zealand, from fjords to mountains to wide open spaces.
We're here for Tourism New Zealand and sort of letting everyone know how amazing New Zealand is.
Paradise was something else. It was very otherworldly.
You know, normally you think if you call Paradise, you couldn't really live up to it, but actually it's
stunning. Yeah, this country, it's too beautiful, and this coming from an Irishman, it's really stunning.
Paradise was probably, for me, the standout location that shocked me with its beauty.
I had an amazing time in the winter because I skied in the North Island and the South Island at Mount Ruapehu and Queenstown. So I would say come during the winter and enjoy the danger sports.
The Pelorus River is also special for me. I remember visiting that exact river when I was about 5 or 6 years old with my parents. All the way through the Lord of the Rings, I had it sort of logged away as a possible location, but there wasn't anything really suitable in that story. But the Hobbit, the barrels, the river, perfect use of the Pelorus River.
There are many reasons to come to New Zealand, and a lot of them are contained in this beautiful book.
We spent a long time there and put down a few routes, made amazing friends.
New Zealand is Middle Earth. It's become a fictional landscape that we know and love, but also it's a place where you can get on a plane and go visit, which is even more extraordinary.
It was wonderful. I loved working in New Zealand. It reminded me a lot of home.
We were really knocked out by A, the landscape, and B, the workmanship of the cast and crew on the film, and to be reminded of that tonight is fantastic.
Viral online marketing strategies. Viral marketing is when the internet is used as the medium to promote a film. Certain images, videos are placed on the web that spread like a virus, and people pick up information about a film in a non-traditional way. The Dark Knight in 2008 was the first film to fully exploit viral marketing. This can encompass teaser trailers and official trailers, teaser photographs from the set. It could be a Yahoo featurette online, interviews with the cast, an iTunes webpage, a Warner Brothers webpage, pop-ups on the internet near the film launch, online news reviews and weblogs of the film and the franchise, merchandising tie-ins with Amazon or Play.com. What is technological convergence? Is when images, stills and iconography from the film are made into digital products that live online or in a digital format. An online trailer, a computer game for a range of formats including Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, etc. Apps for mobile devices and tablets, screensavers, wallpapers, online reviews, DVD, Blu-ray, ultraviolet, and now in the digital era, the download or streaming on LoveFilm and Netflix, or even the 3D screening at the multiplex. These are all different examples of digital convergence. It's when you take the iconography of the film and put it into a digital format. The Hobbit has had a number of viral marketing strategies. They have a main Tumblr page which has a number of links which started round about August 2013. You can buy online tickets and special offers for pre-release screenings which are exclusive. They also had a Twitter Q&A with the stars where people could tweet the characters and actors and ask all kinds of questions about the film prior to release. There was also a Google Plus Hangout where Peter Jackson, Marty Freeman and Evangeline Lilly spoke to fans via Google. Behind the scenes exclusive shots from the set can often be released on Tumblr and social media sites. They also had a live trailer launch of Google Chat with fans. And also they had a tie-in with events such as Movember, where you can have a number of facial hairstyles like characters from The Hobbit. These are all viral marketing strategies. Warner Brothers also owns Rotten Tomatoes, which is a review site of films, and this is another aspect of synergy where they reviewed The Desolation of Smaug and gave it a 75% rating, an 85% fan rating. This is a tie. This is not a relationship you would necessarily think exists between Rotten Tomatoes and Time Warner, yet Time Warner bought Rotten Tomatoes and Flickster a number of years ago. Convergence can be seen as either traditional convergence or technological convergence. This is how one film on a film celluloid can become so many. Think about what other things the Hobbit film can be converged or changed into. Other traditional converging or marketing strategies will make it a number of inanimate objects, but tying it in virally with certain companies that run days like Black Friday prior to the Christmas spend, Cyber Monday. This allows companies to target certain fan bases through their website. This is another viral marketing strategy. The Hobbit, Spiders of Mirkwood, Kingdoms of Middle-earth app, PC games that can be downloaded, Guardians of Middle-earth.
Peggy 16.
War of the North.
18.
The hand of Sauron stretches far. No land is safe from the shadow. But there are still those with the strength and the will to resist.
Technology distribution and exhibition. The days of film reels are eroding. It is cheaper and faster to send hard drives with films preloaded than shipping separate film reels around the world. Films are now projected on special projectors through a hard drive and not actual film cells negatives through a projector in the traditional way. 3D film needs a special projector, and currently there are not as many as 2D projectors, but this is slowly changing. More and more cinemas are adapting 2D projectors to 3D projectors. More and more action, adventure and animation genre films are being made in 3D or converted to 3D. And why do you think that is? What is 3D cinema? What is film streaming? What is ultraviolet?
3D stereoscopic films are produced by creating two views of the same scene, with two separate cameras slightly offset to simulate the distance between the audience's eyes. By projecting these images simultaneously through a special system to an audience wearing filtered glasses, these two views are sent to the appropriate left and right eyes, where the brain fuses the images together, giving the viewer a strong illusion of depth into and out of the screen. Stereoscopic advertising gives you the opportunity to have your product or service jump out of the screen into the faces of the audience. This new experience is drawing audiences to see a fast-growing number of Hollywood films made in stereoscopic 3D. At Bug, we have the experience, the technical know-how, and creative talent to produce effective stereoscopic 3D content for your next campaign.
Sjekk ut årets store isnyhet fra Henning Olsen-is. iPod med gratis musikknedlastning på kjøpet.
What if you could watch your movies anywhere? Well, now you can. With Ultraviolet, your Paramount movies are stored in the cloud, so you can watch your movies on all your favorite devices, like your phone, tablet, computer, and even your TV. There are two ways to get Ultraviolet movies. You can redeem a code on specially marked DVDs and Blu-rays. Enter that code online, and that movie will be added to your digital library instantly. Or you can purchase a movie with Ultraviolet directly from ParamountMovies.com. Getting started is simple. Just create an account at ParamountMovies.com and set up an Ultraviolet account. It's easy. Plus, you can share with up to 5 members of your household and on up to 12 devices. Ultraviolet. You can instantly stream your movies anywhere there's an internet connection. If not, download them for offline viewing anytime. Even if you just want to watch movies at home, ParamountMovies.com and Ultraviolet make it possible. Just point, click, and start watching.
Established US video streaming service Netflix has launched in the UK, putting it in direct competition with Amazon's Love Film offering. So, how are they different? We compared the two apps. For unlimited movie streaming, Netflix will cost you $5.99 a month. Love Film's equivalent service, Love Film Instant, will set you back $4.99. Both the apps are free to download, but unless you're paying monthly, the apps will only let you watch the movie trailers and organise your account. Love Film gives you over 70,000 titles to choose from, and Netflix say they have tens of thousands available in their catalogue. However, we did a quick test, searching for Steven Spielberg, and Love Film gave us over 30 results, whereas there seemed to be a problem with search on Netflix. But some of the results on Love Film were DVD rental only. Both have partnered with all the big UK broadcasters and film studios, including BBC Worldwide, ITV, Channel 4, Lionsgate UK, MGM and 20th Century Fox. You can watch movies and TV shows via Netflix and Love Film on your laptop, smart TV, PS3s, Xbox, iOS and Android devices. If you upgrade to $5.99 a month, Love Film allows you to order movies by post, whereas Netflix is a streaming-only package in the UK. During tests, we could browse more specific categories on Netflix, and the US service did bring us back much more personalised recommendations compared to Love Film.
Section 3, Audiences. In this section, you will appreciate and reflect on how you as an audience member consumes media products at the cinema, online and buying merchandise, and how you interact with media in making suites or mashups of your favourite films, from consumer to prosumer. What is the long tail? The long tail is this notion and idea that a product has a certain physical shelf life. A film like The Hobbit will get released and you'll be able to see it at the cinema, but eventually it will not be at the cinema anymore. And then it physically exists in the form of a DVD and a Blu-ray, but that's for a certain number of months or years. And after that, say in 20 years time, when you can't get access to the film at the cinema or a DVD or Blu-ray copy, there'll be a pure digital format that it will exist in. In fact, it happens far sooner. Within the next 6 months or 12 months, The Hobbit will probably be streamed on Sky or Virgin Media, on an on-demand service, and eventually on Love Film or Netflix, and it will purely exist as a digital file. So it goes from the physical film in a projector to a DVD and Blu-ray, and then it ends up being a digital file. But the long tail also alludes to this idea that you'll still be able to consume The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, in many, many years to come, in the same way other products from Time Warner, such as the Batman films from the 1960s, the Batman films from the 1980s, the recent trilogy of Batman, can still be consumed today. That suggests the long tail. Even Looney Tunes DVDs can still be purchased today, or Blu-rays, or content online that has been made many, many years ago. The long tail suggests there's always going to be a market for these products, and places like eBay and the wider internet has allowed you to purchase just about any item. So what it suggests the long tail is something will always sell. There'll always be a way to purchase or indulge in a particular product, and the digital age has made it far more easier. Fandom. What is fandom? Fandom is when fans indulge in making their own films inspired artifacts, going from a consumer to a prosumer, which is a consumer stroke producer, is when the person viewing the content starts making the content. The second phase of the internet was called Web 2.0, where the cult of uploading followed the cult of downloading, which was what Web 1.0. When the internet first came out, there was a culture of going on the internet and learning to download. But now we have the phenomenon of uploading, and more content is uploaded onto Facebook, onto YouTube, than it is actually downloaded. This has allowed fans to indulge in making many media artifacts, from films to print products inspired by the films that they enjoy. Fandom has many forms, and many fans make Swedes mini-films that are inspired by the franchise. In the context of The Hobbit, a famous Lord of the Rings Swede was a full-length feature film called The Hunt for Gollum, made in 2009, and also Born of Hope, which was also made in 2009. Both were made after The Lord of the Rings Return of the King, but before The Hobbit in 2012. Made by fans, for fans, Hunt for Gollum attracted over 10 million hits on YouTube.
Orcs have returned to Moria. Soon they will be within this side of the mountains. The servants of the enemy multiply as his strength increases. Alas, there are now so few back. Our servants are long safe. Tell me, what is this creature you see?
The road will not be easy, but you have foresight of the people. You can't find him. No one can.
Their numbers are growing, and you are on foot. You will never reach the forest alive.
I have an idea. We could ask the eagles for help.
No. Stop. Just stop with the eagles.
But they solve every problem we have.
No more eagles.
Okay, fine.
Aren't you going to search me? I could have anything down my trousers.
Oh, gross! Do not speak to me in your sexual innuendos, dwarf. I'm just kidding. I find that so hot. I will be forever in love with you from this day forth.
Yes.
Together we shall bridge this petty hatred between our races. All because you alluded to the contents within your trousers.
Wow. So will you let me out then?
Oh no, you are a prisoner. You stay in there.
Kill the she-elf!
Which one is the she-elf?
Oh! Get it? Because they all look the same! We all look the same!
You have bird poo!
Why didn't anybody say anything? Oh, so embarrassing.
We've awoken the town because we found these dwarves stealing weapons! We wish to take back our mountain! If we succeed, we'll all be rich!
Oh, okay.
I require as many black arrows as you can assemble! Because there is a dragon in that mountain, and we just talked about how that is the only weapon that can pierce the dragon's hide. We were not stupid, right? No! I mean, it's not like we can just walk in there and expect the dragon to be nice. No!
Actually, dragons are completely misunderstood. They're quite easy to train.
I'm raising my dragons as my children.
Having a luck dragon with you is the only way to go on a quest. Oh, okay then. Well, in that case...
I am the last one.
Okay, we get it. We will befriend the dragon! Yeah!
What do you think you're doing? Friend?
He does not want to be friends!
This is a turn on the light!
I'll show you, friend!
What have we done?
I am fire! I am death.
Black Arrow!
Ooh, right in the... Oh dear.
What the... How did...
I got him!
But where did... How did...
I don't know. I'm not even supposed to be in this story!
Oh, thanks for watching, Wondery Browser.
Double kill. Triple kill.
Click subscribe and watch more show.
Overkill.
Special thanks go to Tavuvi.
Killer Orc Jar.
For being in our video.
Orc freaking believable.
Fora TV. Idea Immersion. Visit us at www.fora.tv.
We're very fortunate to live in a moment where the economics of the 21st century lie in the server databases of Google and Yahoo and Netflix and Amazon. And if you only look, you can see extraordinary things. And surprisingly few people are looking. And I've been fortunate enough to have their cooperation, and you'll see some of that. But we're just scratching the surface of the really different economics, culture, and lens on our culture, lens on our world around us that we can see out there in these databases. It starts with numbers, and this is the sort of the shape of our age, I believe. It's called a power law. You may know it also as a Pareto. Vilfred Pareto was the Italian economist who observed that 20% of the Italian population had 80% of the land, leading to the 80-20 rule, the notion that a small number of things have a large impact. Low frequency, high amplitude events. Earthquakes are distributed in power laws. A small number of big earthquakes and a large number of small ones. Populations. Cities are distributed in power laws. A small number of very big cities and a large number of small ones. The shape is kind of a 1 over x. It's an exponential. It's the simplest possible curve, and yet it turns out to be absolutely ubiquitous in human affairs, economies, and nature itself. If you plot a power law linearly, it looks like that, with a small number of things on the left, high impacts, and a large number of things on the right. It happens to go on forever. I've cut it off. I've truncated it at a random number. If you plot it log-log, which is to say that each axis now goes in factors of 10, you should get a straight line. Sometimes the slope of the line doesn't matter. It depends on the market. It depends on the circumstances. It depends on the units you're using, but it should be a straight line. Unless it's not. This is US box office over a 3-year period. The box office gross is on the left, exponential in a log scale, and the ranking of the films. The number 1 film, which did several $100 million, all the way down to about 1,500 films. Something happens right, I don't know whether you can see this little line, but something happens right there. And what happens right there is really interesting because it sort of tells you everything you need to know about the distortions of the last century in our economy and culture. What happens right there is not that the films got worse. They didn't switch into foreign languages. They didn't stop making films. What happened is they ran out of screens. The carrying capacity of the American theatrical network, mostly the big screen megaplexes, is about 120 films a year. However, the number of films shown in film festivals is closer to 13,000. The vast majority of films never make it to the megaplex. They never get out there. There are not enough screens to show all the films. And so as a result, you end up with this distortion. You end up with the marketplace apparently falling off the cliff. Not because people didn't want those films, not because they didn't exist, not because the films weren't good, but because of a scarcity effect, a bottleneck in distribution. And so in a sense, everything we think about, to the extent that we thought that Hollywood represented American taste, to the extent that we thought that hits were the sort of, were what our society, collective society wanted, it turns out that in fact hits are what the distribution channel wanted. It only had so much shelf space. And so too for channels of television, for radio channels, for retail shelf space. Every one of these traditional ways of distributing content, where I started my research, has a scarcity effect. And every one of those scarcity effects, every one of those bottlenecks ends up distorting the market and by extension, distorting our culture. In a sense, it looks like this. There is the same power law, and yet it just gets hacked off, truncated. But now we're entering an era where you have distribution methods that don't have scarcity functions, or at least they're pushed much further down. The internet has infinite channels and infinite screens and infinite shelf space. And so what you realize is when you go back to that line, you realize this pink bit right here is the latent market that we were missing before because we couldn't reach those products, because we couldn't connect supply and demand. And that right there is the market we're just now starting to explore, and it turns out to be remarkably large. Here's some actual data from Rhapsody, which is a subscription online music service. It benefits from unlimited shelf space. What you have here in the red part is the albums and songs that are available in Walmart, which is America's largest CD retailer. It has about 4,500 albums in the average Walmart. So these are the hits. And these are the albums that Walmart has and Rhapsody has. Down here in the yellow, these are the niches. These are the albums, tracks, and other songs that Walmart doesn't carry, but Rhapsody does. What's notable about this is that although through some complicated math involving converting albums to tracks, I calculate that the Walmart inventory is about equal to 25,000 tracks. Rhapsody right now carries 1.5 million tracks. iTunes carries about 2 million tracks. The peer-to-peer networks are looking at about 9 million tracks. There's probably 25 million tracks out there somewhere in vinyl, live, remix, all the other songs that are out there and could be and will be brought online. Another way of looking at it is right here. This is Walmart's inventory, and this is Rhapsody's inventory. What we've thought was the music market was a tiny, tiny fraction of the music market. In fact, we're looking at order of magnitude increase in inventory and variety. And so too for DVDs. Blockbusters, the average Blockbuster carries 3,000 DVDs. Netflix is at actually 60,000 right now. Over here at Amazon, the typical Barnes & Noble or Borders carries about 100,000 books. Amazon's now tracking 3.7. There's probably another 6 million books out there. Bring in the networked used book stores, which are now sort of seamlessly integrated into these online marketplaces, and you could be looking at maybe as many as 10 million books in various languages. extraordinary increase in variety. And what you find is that although we'd assumed, the retail channels had assumed that those niche low sellers were insignificant, sub-economic, just not worth carrying. In fact, when you add them all up, those onesies and twosies are starting to amount to significant markets. In music, they are closing in on half the market, is now stuff not sold in Walmart. At Netflix, about a quarter of the market, a quarter of their rentals are things that aren't available in a Blockbuster. At Amazon, it's also about a quarter of the books now sold on Amazon are books that aren't available on a Barnes & Noble or a Borders. All those numbers are growing. It looks like we're trending to an era where about half the market is sold through traditional retail channels, and the other half of the market is only available through these sort of abundant, unlimited channels, such as, with online in particular, but also things like the U.S. Mail, another powerful network, as Netflix revealed.